In the heart of the ancient Near East, a story unfolded that would challenge the very foundations of faith, power, and destiny. It is a tale of a young man named Daniel, who, along with his companions, was taken from his homeland in Jerusalem to the opulent and formidable court of Babylon. This was not a journey of choice, but one of conquest, a brutal reminder of the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar's might. Yet, in the midst of captivity, Daniel and his friends emerged as figures of extraordinary wisdom and piety, setting the stage for a narrative that would resonate through the ages. Daniel's story is often seen as a parallel to that of Joseph in the book of Genesis. Both were young men taken as captives to foreign lands, and both rose to positions of great influence through their exceptional abilities. However, the similarities only go so far. While Joseph's rise to power in Egypt was marked by his ability to interpret Pharaoh's dreams, leading to a period of prosperity and the eventual reunification of his family, Daniel's journey is more complex and profound. It is a story of divine intervention, the nature of God, and the mysterious workings of history. When Daniel and his companions were brought to Babylon, they faced a daunting challenge. They were to be trained in the language and literature of the Chaldeans, a process designed to assimilate them into Babylonian culture and erase their Jewish identity. But Daniel and his friends refused to compromise their faith. They requested a diet that adhered to Jewish dietary laws, a request that could have cost them their lives. Their steadfastness, however, was rewarded when they not only survived but thrived, outshining all the other attendants at the royal court in wisdom and understanding. Daniel's special gift was his ability to interpret dreams, a skill that would define his role in the court of Nebuchadnezzar. Unlike Joseph, who attributed his success to God's assistance but did not engage in direct communication with the divine, Daniel was in constant dialogue with the God of heaven. When Nebuchadnezzar had a dream that left him deeply troubled, Daniel, through divine revelation, was able to interpret it. The dream foretold the rise and fall of great empires, culminating in the ultimate triumph of God's kingdom. Daniel's interpretation was not just a prediction. It was a declaration of God's sovereignty over the affairs of nations. Nebuchadnezzar, recognizing the power and wisdom behind Daniel's words, acknowledged the greatness of Daniel's God. He showered Daniel and his companions with gifts and appointed them to high offices. This recognition of the true God by a Gentile king was a significant moment, echoing the theme of the book of Isaiah, where the Gentiles would come to recognize and worship the one true God. However, the nature of this recognition was different. In Isaiah, the acknowledgement of God's power was often accompanied by a call to repentance and a change of heart. In Daniel, the recognition was more a matter of intellectual and political acknowledgement, a testament to the power of divine revelation and the wisdom it bestowed. As the story of Daniel progresses, the focus shifts from direct divine intervention to the interpretation of visions and the unfolding of divine plans. This shift is particularly evident in the latter chapters of the book, where Daniel receives a series of apocalyptic visions. These visions are not just predictions of future events, but are also a theological statement about the nature of history and God's role in it. The visions depict a series of empires, each more terrifying than the last, culminating in the ultimate triumph of God's kingdom. This apocalyptic perspective offers a sense of hope and consolation to the Jews, who were facing persecution and exile. The message is clear. Though the present may be dark, the future belongs to God and His people. One of the most striking aspects of Daniel's visions is the role of angels and heavenly beings. In earlier biblical narratives, God often spoke directly to His prophets, guiding them and revealing His plans. In Daniel, however, it is the angels who play a more active role. Gabriel, a prominent angel, appears several times to explain the visions to Daniel. This shift suggests a subtle but significant change in the understanding of divine communication. God is still present and active, but He works through intermediaries, and the emphasis is on the interpretation of divine revelation rather than direct divine action. The visions of Daniel also introduce a new concept of history. In the book of Ecclesiastes, the author suggests that history is predetermined and cyclical, a series of events that repeat themselves. Daniel, while not fully embracing this view, does present history as a vast tapestry that can be known and understood in advance. The future, though predetermined, is not without purpose. It is a narrative with a clear end, one in which God's kingdom will be established and His people will triumph. This perspective offers a sense of hope and purpose, even in the face of persecution and suffering. The book of Daniel also reflects the historical context in which it was written. The book is believed to have been composed during the Hellenistic period, a time when the Jews were facing intense cultural and religious pressure from their Greek rulers. The persecutions and the threat to Jewish identity are alluded to in Daniel's visions, where the final beast, representing a future ruler, seeks to suppress the worship of God and change the laws. The visions offer a message of resistance and hope, assuring the Jews that their faith will ultimately be vindicated. In conclusion, the book of Daniel is a profound and multifaceted narrative that explores the themes of faith, wisdom, and divine sovereignty. It challenges the reader to see beyond the immediate challenges of the present and to trust in a God who works through history to bring about His ultimate plan. Daniel's story is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is hope, and that the wisdom and power of God are always at work.